Let's talk about money, not just its role in your life, but its role in your soul. We all live in a world that measures success by wealth. The size of your paycheck, the car you drive, the home you own, these often dictate your worth in the eyes of society. But let me ask you, does money truly fulfill you? Or is there something deeper you're longing for? The Bible speaks of wealth repeatedly, not as something inherently evil, but as something incredibly dangerous when misaligned with God's purpose. As Jesus said in Matthew 6:24, you cannot serve both God and money. Notice he didn't say you cannot have money, but that you cannot serve it. Why? Because money, when idolized, becomes a cruel master, demanding your time, your energy, and ultimately your heart. Consider this. What does money mean to you? Is it security, power, freedom, or happiness? Many people spend their lives chasing wealth, believing it will fill a void. Yet how often do we hear stories of millionaires and celebrities who, despite their riches, are empty, lost, or even desperate? Ecclesiastes 5:10 says, "Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied." Solomon, the wealthiest king in history, wrote those words. A man who had gold beyond measure, palaces that dazzled nations, and wisdom unmatched, yet he declared it all meaningless without God. He discovered that wealth without purpose is like a feast that never satisfies, a hollow pursuit that leaves you starving for something eternal. We live in a society that glamorizes wealth but rarely questions its cost. How many relationships are strained by financial disputes? How many sacrifices are made on the altar of ambition? Time with family, health, integrity, even faith itself. These are often casualties in the pursuit of riches. Here's where the biblical perspective flips everything upside down. The problem isn't money itself, it's the love of money. 1 Timothy 6:10 states, "The love of money is the root of all evil." Let's break this down. Money is neutral, neither good nor bad. It's a tool, like a hammer, useful in the hands of someone building, but destructive in the hands of someone tearing down. The love of money, however, twists its purpose. It breeds greed, selfishness, and pride. It convinces you that your worth is tied to your wealth, that your happiness depends on having more. It blinds you to the needs of others, and worse, to your need for God. But Jesus offers a different vision. In Matthew 6:19-20 he teaches, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven." This isn't about rejecting wealth, but about reordering priorities. It's about letting God define your treasure and trusting Him as your provider. So, what should we do with money? The Bible doesn't call for poverty as a sign of faith. Abraham, Job, and Solomon were wealthy men who honored God with their riches. The key lies in stewardship, managing what God entrusts to you in a way that glorifies Him and blesses others. Deuteronomy 8:18 reminds us, "But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth." This verse is profound because it shifts the narrative. Your talents, opportunities, and even your health are gifts from God. Wealth is not your achievement, but a blessing, and it carries responsibility. Are you using your money to build His kingdom or your own? Are you generous with those in need, or do you hold tightly to what you've earned? Proverbs 11:25 declares, "A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed." Giving is not about losing, it's about sowing seeds that bear eternal fruit. Let me leave you with this. Money is temporary, but God is eternal. Your wealth can vanish overnight, but the treasures you store in heaven will never fade. Jesus said in Matthew 6:33, "Seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." This doesn't mean you shouldn't work hard or plan for the future, but it does mean trusting God as your provider, not the size of your bank account. It means praying not for wealth but for wisdom, not for riches but for righteousness. Imagine a life where money no longer rules you. Imagine making financial decisions not out of fear or greed, but out of faith and purpose. This is the freedom God offers when you surrender your finances to Him. So where do you stand? Is money your master, or is it your servant? Is your treasure on earth or in heaven? Let today be the day you realign your heart with God's vision, trusting that His plans are far greater than anything money can buy. Thank you for joining me today. Reflect on your relationship with money, and more importantly, your relationship with God. Share this message with someone who needs it, and let's journey together toward a life of true prosperity, rooted not in wealth, but in His wisdom and grace.